Hey there again, Aaron Blackmon with Atlantic Bay Mortgage Group. We are continuing to work through various loan types. So in this video, we're going to go through a basic rundown of USDA. What does USDA stand for? United States Department of Agriculture. So this is a loan type that is insured by the USDA. USDA insuring these loans allows lenders to provide them and continue them going along, and ultimately it helps these loans have the 0% down payment. So one of the things with VA loans and USDA loans offering 100% financing is that those loans are insured ultimately by the US government in some form or fashion, or program sponsored run by the US government. And so it gives lenders more security in offering those loans, even though the buyer may not have any sort of down payment or quote skin in the game, if you will. So 100% financing, zero down. It's a wonderful feature of USDA loans. Like we've been talking about, gifts for closing costs and down payment are allowed. And like VA, why on earth would you make a down payment? Well, you have folks every now and then that want a payment to be a certain level, and to do that, we can offset it with borrowing less, ultimately making a down payment. So again, talk to family. Do you have an aunt, uncle, parent, brother, son, daughter, whoever of the family that may offer down payment help with gift? I mentioned it before, but I'll mention it here. In certain cases, employers can provide a gift for this. I get asked quite often, Aaron, what's the loan limit for USDA? And the simple answer is there is not a loan limit. USDA does not establish a yearly loan limit with these loans like other loan types do, like conventional, like FHA. This is instead based on the borrower's DTI, or debt to income ratio. And so USDA, based on credit score, some other smaller factors, debt to income ratio, they set a certain DTI that borrower can hit for USDA loans. So we look at specifically the housing payment versus their gross monthly income, as well as their total debt ratio versus their gross monthly income. Okay, so these loans are a lot more involved with pre-approval. They're not as quick and snappy to get a pre-approval ripped out because there is a back-end system we must run that's more in depth than the other loans. So just keep that in mind. If you have someone interested in USDA, make sure to get them in for pre-approval early. And there's a lot of factors we look at. I probably need pay stubs, bank statements, make sure I have a full financial rundown just to make sure everything's good to go on these. USDA is advertised with a minimum credit score of 620. However, in the current market, current guidelines, you will typically need a higher credit score than that. If you have a lot of reserves and really great employment history and extra money on hand, you can get down likely to 620. But just to reference that and mention that, you'll likely need a higher credit score. And like FHA and VA, and here with USDA, it's meant for primary residence only. Okay, so these loans are meant to stimulate the housing market in more rural areas. So typically, if you're looking like within city limits, USDA is meant for more rural areas. So you got to go out from the city a little bit. A lot of South Carolina properties are USDA eligible, and in some cases, some that you wouldn't think are USDA eligible are. Typically on the Georgia side, you got to go out a ways, but this is really easy to find out. You can just simply Google USDA property eligibility, follow the top link on the USDA website. There's a couple disclaimers you have to accept on their website, and you can enter in a property address, and it will show you a map, and it will tell you if that property is USDA eligible or not. Little tip, when you're going to list a property, always check and see if it's USDA eligible, okay? Because when you market it as USDA eligible, you're opening up the marketplace to USDA buyers. So definitely check that, okay? Basic rundown of USDA. Very similar to other loan types in terms of documentation and things we look at. Just the key here is if you have someone interested, get them in for pre-approval early, because we may need a little bit of extra time to look at their income. USDA loans do have income limits, so we want to make sure home buyer is within those income limits. Okay. Reach out to me if you have questions, but this was USDA. Thanks so much.